I'm here to tell you all about whether you should spend the money on buying the new Go Hiking magazine. Is it worth it? Does it have interesting articles in it? And is it well put together? When I opened up this publication and I started reading the editor's letter and the little blurbs about each contributor, it gave me this amazing friendly community feeling, and I really wanted to read about what these people had to say. There's one article that I did have a few problems with, and that was the article about choosing a backpack. They had day packs, then they had overnight packs, and then they had multi-day packs. To me, that is a slightly strange distinction to separate out an overnight pack from a multi-day pack. The big distinction would be you just need a slightly larger capacity pack to carry the extra food and water. But if you're going to be sleeping outdoors, you're going to be sleeping outdoors. It doesn't really matter how many nights you're going for. They also had some slightly odd advice in that article. For overnight packs, they stated that the bag should have a sleeping bag compartment. I really can't quite understand why they would insist that a bag needs to have a sleeping bag compartment. If you have a hiking bag that is just one giant compartment with no divisions whatsoever, that is completely fine. And in fact, the way that many people pack their bags is to stuff their sleeping bag around their other gear to get rid of all of the dead space. It's a slightly more efficient way of packing, instead of rolling the sleeping bag up into its own little ball. Normally with that sort of thing, I'm very much a live and let live person, and I just say to each their own. But because this particular advice is published in this magazine, and I think it is going to be taken as an authority on the subject, particularly by people who are a bit new to the hiking scene, I think they really do need to justify statements like that. On the other hand, that particular article really impressed me by not touting one specific brand or outlet store over another. They had a really good range of packs in that article from many different places, and I thought that was really good. It felt very unbiased to me. Then basically the entire rest of this magazine is entirely trail reports from different places all over South Africa, and in fact even outside of South Africa as well. Namibia is in here, the Naarkloof Trail, and Japan is even in here, the Kumano Corridor. And I'm not sure if that is the standard format for this particular magazine, or if they intentionally did this particular format for this issue because South Africa has recently moved to level 2 lockdown and interprovincial travel is now allowed. There are lots of people that have gotten into hiking and that are now looking for places to hike. I would, in future issues of this hiking magazine, like to see slightly more variety, maybe something about food or cooking or safety outdoors. At the moment, this does feel very one-dimensional. And on the subject of all of the trail reviews that are in here, they managed to cover a massively wide portion of the country. I think if you live almost anywhere in South Africa, you'll be able to find a trail that is within reasonable driving distance of you. The magazine costs 100 Rand, which I think is a little bit steep, perhaps. But if they continue to put out a quality publication, it could be a justifiable price. I will be buying this magazine in future again. I really, really enjoyed reading it. I found out about trails that I did not know about previously, and the writing quality was very, very high. It's very well put together. There's lovely pictures, but I do have one gripe. There are already issues in the outdoors where people do feel kind of divided. I don't think it has anything particularly to do with the outdoors. I think it's got more to do with the inside of people's heads, where you know a lot of people who are the same color as you are, therefore you do recreational activities with people who are the same color as you are, and that ends up promoting a sort of division amongst different colors of people. But if you are a publication, you actually have the opportunity to change that and bring the two groups together And I do wish that they had made more of an effort to do that. So, Go magazine, if you do see this video, then please consider including contributors of color in your next edition. There are so many people out there who could really add to this magazine. You just have to make an effort to step outside of your comfort zone and find them.